everyone, welcome back. Those of you who are indeed back, I'm grateful to you all, and I hope that I can provide you with some sort of entertainment for some time to come still. Now, just a little bit of housekeeping, which I have not done in a long while. I actually wanted to do it in a short or separate video, but I decided against it. So let's do it and get it over with. The harassment I received on or as a result of this channel had been minimal compared to other YouTubers, if one can believe what they are saying. But that is not to say that I have not had some. I just deal with it differently. For the last, say, 2 to 3 years, I kept YouTube's own filter on. And that helps as they flag, obviously, certain words or whatever they do. Of course, I can go look and decide to make some of those comments live, but I've learned over nearly 7 years that it is often something like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 7, 8, 9, 10, which was removed unnecessary. So I hardly ever even go check anymore. However, regardless of that, some comments do slip through. Sometimes I catch them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes one of my regulars will inform me of a nasty comment, etc., etc. I also receive the odd nastiness on Instagram, on my feed, or via DM, and then obviously also via email. I've also mentioned it before, but I'm going to say it once again. When it comes to Harry and Meghan, I can honestly count on my one hand the number of times I received really bad, nasty, sinister threats from sugars. Yes, the usual, you're a racist, that nonsense, or you jealous, the same old thing many other YouTubers receive, and me likely less than others because I do not interfere with the sugars. I detest Meghan. I can't stand her face anymore, and they love her. So be it. Whatever the truth is will hit them sometime without my help. We can all do and say and think what we want to, the sugars as well. But sadly, the times I have received the most disgusting, foul, sick, I do not even know what to call it. So let's just stick with foul and sick comments, DMs, email, and other harassment, the type which actually did upset me. It was as a result of something I said about either King Charles or William or Catherine. Have a look on the screen. That is what I got because I'm bored with Catherine's coat dresses. I didn't say she looked ugly. As a matter of fact, I said she looked impeccable, okay? But I'm bored with it, okay? So, although I made it clear that I adore Catherine and that she was indeed impeccable, regardless of how I feel about the coat dresses, well, my dears, I don't even know where to find a ghetto. I'm not a sugar. I'm not working for anyone, let alone Harry and Meghan. I've had it up to my gills with the dirt, the threats, the disgusting shit I receive because I dare criticize Charles, Catherine, or William, even if I so much as criticize their shoes or a dress. It is sycophantic, delusional, and judging by things I've read and seen, more dangerous than anything I've seen so far coming from the sugars. Now, in the past, I've always gone click, delete, block, but the latest had really gotten to me. So I'm going to, no, excuse me, I have already started taking screenshots and collecting some of the nastiest lot, and at some point, I'm going to send it to Buckingham Palace and Scotland Yard so that they cannot turn around and say they don't know about it. I mean, we're always going on about Harry and Meghan, who are thanking their sugars instead of reprimanding them for their foul behaviour. Well, ditto for the palace. Think I'm talking nonsense? Ask Trevor Colt or whoever else who and what was actually arrested. Well, arrested for other things, but she was also the one who trolled Trevor and others. Yes, a white middle-aged woman, and I think what I have is exactly the same. They sound female and are mostly middle-aged. If some of you are lurking here in my post today, go see a mental health professional because you certainly need help. To say, no, I mean type, such awful things after comment about a dress. Well, to close the subject, I will be appointing a moderator in the next week or so. I just need an extra laptop. I think it is time. I do not always get to all the comments. I have to move on to the next video. But as from end of next week, my daughter will check all comments for me and a friend will relieve her when she's working. Yesterday I was so upset that I was weighing up my own mental health versus what I'm doing here. But, you know, I've become rather attached to some of my subscribers and my channel. It's not an endeavor I'm taking lightly, but like everyone else, I have to constantly evaluate myself, my family, and my circumstances, and I will certainly do so more carefully in the future. Okay, so while we are on this rather somber wicket, you know, hatred drives hatred. Sometimes criticism can be made out of love or because you care, and not always out of hatred and anger. But if it is always received aggressively, it will eventually breed contempt, anger, or hatred. Harry and Meghan are the prime examples of that, because they could not accept that they were not perfect, not always right, and always has to hit back is exactly why we despise them. And the same will eventually apply to the royal family if these sycophants are allowed to spread this vile behavior, not only in their own country, but across borders and internationally. And with Harry and Meghan's efforts to discredit the king and the royal family, surely the monarchy and the king cannot afford these strangers to harm their reputation any further. Also harming their reputation, and that's without any doubt, is that with every video, every post Meghan puts out, whether on Instagram or podcast, there's a tiny speck chipped off the royal family when it comes to respect, trust, and reputation. Every time Meghan blurs or photoshops or lies about her children, the king and monarchy are losing a little more credibility. There's no point anymore in saying it's not the royal family's story to tell, it's Harry and Meghan's story to tell, because they won't. It is now the king as head of state, constitutional leader of the country, to address it and do what is right. William cannot really, well, I mean he can, but he won't, go against his father. So by implication, he too is holding on to Harry and Meghan's so-called secrets. And I bring this up now because in the next video, I'm going to talk about Meghan's podcast with Emma, Emma Greed, and the Father's Day video. I did not want to mix it up with this video, so guys and girls, please take care until we meet again on the next one. Bye.